Welcome to another episode of our leadership video series. Today we're speaking with Decha Brooks, the CEO of Enchanted Fairies. Decha drives growth with a people-first approach, fostering an award-winning culture and creating meaningful impact in the community. Across your career, you've driven both profit growth and cost reduction. How do you approach balancing operational efficiency with investing in people and culture?
When you are approaching operational efficiency and investing in your people and the culture, they're really codependent. So whenever I analyze the operations, I always do it with the people in mind. We've heard this before, that people are the greatest assets in your company, and they are. So as long as you have a happy team, you're going to have an efficient, healthy company. So I make sure that really that if I'm cutting costs or I'm looking at expenses, that it does not come at the expense of my team, that they can still function, they still have the capacity, yet they have the work-life balance, making sure that I get their input, I collaborate with the team. I want to understand how it affects them. And I think that that's the best way to do it. So you can't do one without the other. They're codependent on each other.
Could you share a principle from your book, Try Leader, that you found especially powerful in your own career?
So when I created the concept, Try Leader, so it's a whole trademark pending concept. When I created that, it came of years of experience for myself and from watching other leaders, the strengths and the mistakes and the weaknesses that we all have had. It really is taking three different roles and truly getting people to understand that leadership is not about titles. I am not a title person. I understand the need for a hierarchy. I understand the need for having titles as it pertains to scope and responsibilities, but not for showing the significance of it or the importance of one role over the other. I really think with Try Leader, when I created this concept, it was to break down the roles that you need to pull on to be able to effectively lead and manage your team. So for example, being the coach and the role of the coach is to make sure that you're developing and training and mentoring your team. Like that's really in a nutshell what that is. And knowing when to do so, because some team members, they need that extra development if they're not successful in a certain task or an area. And you just need to know, okay, they need a little bit more coaching. They need a little bit more guidance here. I need to mentor them a little more. However, there are some team members that that's not the issue, that maybe they were performing well at one point, and then at some point you saw a decline in that performance, and you have to figure it out. And sometimes it's motivation and they need encouragement, and figuring out, is that motivation, is it intrinsic, is it extrinsic, is it social motivation? And so that's when you become the cheerleader. So I'm just simplifying it, right? And then the third part of it is that sometimes that those two pieces are okay. If you see that they are motivated, they're giving it their all, they understand how to do this task, they're performing so in their role, maybe it's something with time constraint. Maybe it's the task itself. And that's when you cannot lead behind the desk. You have to get with your team, collaborate with your team. You have to sometimes take on tasks for the team to help them achieve the goal. And that's when you become the teammate. It's really the whole concept that I have used to become a successful leader in different companies and with different teams across my career.
You've paired CEO responsibilities with deep HR leadership experience. How do you think having a strong HR and people operations lens has shaped the way you run companies?
It's quite common for a lot of people who have made their career HR to at some point transition into a COO or a CEO position, just because a lot of people don't understand that HR is the heart of the company, and you literally touch every piece of the organization, from accounting to customer service to the IT piece of it. So it's really common. But I do think that having that background, when you have that HR experience, you're more people centered. So when you are people centered, then whenever you make decisions, like I said earlier, you do it with the team in mind. So I don't ever just make a decision about a process or a procedure that I don't go to a team member or to a team and see how will this affect them. And will I be successful in this? Because it's sometimes you have that, that 10,000 view looking down, and you're when you're looking at from 10,000 feet above, you see it one way, but the people that are there on the ground level, they can tell you like the day to day how it actually looks. And you need that, you need them to make sure that anything that you are implementing is going to be effective and it's going to be successful. So I think that's how it pairs together.
What's one pivotal career decision or risk you took that completely changed the trajectory of your leadership journey?
My career trajectory was changed in my very first company that I worked for. That was more of kind of like a corporate position, and I was doing like project management at this manufacturing company. And I had changed a form. It was a simple form, and I was very entry level. And the CEO of the company came to me and asked me, "Did I change it?" And the very first thought, Giselle, that I had was, I should have asked before I just went changing their application. Maybe they liked the application the way it was before. Maybe I don't know. And he came to me and I said, yes. And then he said, do you want to be our HR? And I was, because I'm always up for a challenge, I said, sure, I'll do HR. So when I started, I truly engulfed myself in everything that was HR. And that changed my whole career path. My next position after that, I worked for another manufacturing company. I went to HR manager, and then I ended up at the Dallas Cowboys, and I, was on the executive team there. And so I ended up just growing my career in HR based off of that one position in that smaller company where I just changed a form. That was it.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of career advice before stepping into executive leadership, what would it be?
If I could give my younger self that advice, especially before getting into executive role, is don't listen to the stereotypes and don't get caught up in them, I should say. Don't get caught up in stereotypes. Don't get caught up in social norms. Because over the course of my career, especially when I was younger, I was told things like most companies don't want to hire Black managers. I was told, even once I got executive positions, that there were certain levels I couldn't attain because, oh, it's the good old boys club and they're not going to promote a woman. Um, or even things, I remember when the big thing was, oh, if your name sounds too ethnic, you won't be able to get a job. So maybe you should use initials or abbreviate or use, your middle name if it's not as ethnic. And I am here to say that, and what I've learned now that I would tell myself, don't get caught up in that. I believe it's Romans 8:31, where it talks about if God be for us and who can be against us. When God has something for you, it is for you. And don't worry about what man says. Don't worry about what society says. If you just stay on the path, if you just keep, faith without works is dead, right? If you keep doing the work, if you keep putting in the effort, you will get there.